Hello everyone, and welcome to part 3, episode 3 here of Pentiment. We're going to be jumping back in with one quick note. After the last episode, I thought, oh, I must be pretty late in the game. I'm going to go check at the achievements and see what I've gotten, what I haven't. I did get the achievement for spinning wool twice as fast as the women, so I guess I really was as good at that as I thought I was. I also have not received the achievement for completing Act 1 of the game, which I raise here because it means that I'm nowhere near as far into the game as I thought I was. But that's good. It means we've got a lot more left to do. So let's jump in to continue. Yes, so we're picking up right at the start of the next day, which is the day that the archdeacon is going to arrive. And I don't think that I've got anything else to look at here. We'll probably check our map to see who we want to eat with. Andreas, there's a brother from the Abbey here to see you. I don't know why I would assume there's another murder. They haven't rung the bells. Let's go to what about? He wouldn't say, only that he had to speak with you, urgently. He seems quite rattled. Frown thoughtfully. Please, speak to the brother. He's just outside. Of course. I don't know why I'd suddenly, stop talking altogether. That would seem a little weird. Andreas, Christ, there you are. Oh, Woslav, I do know this guy. What's the matter? It's the archdeacon. He's come early with an entire retinue in tow. He's questioning everyone who knew the Baron and Brother Piero. I've already told him the little I know. He expected to speak with you today at Non's. He requested you specifically. I went to the Gertners at Vespers to try to warn you, but you never showed up. Where were you all night? So... we're not allowed in the library. This might be a problem, so I don't think I'm going to say that. Just out. No, I don't. I'm a monk, for Christ's sake. Anyway, he's questioning everyone in the chapter house, and he's keenly interested in you. Who's with him? Several men-at-arms, a gaggle of functionaries, and an executioner. I hope your prying has borne fruit, or Piero's neck will meet the sword. I want to say this, but also I want to acknowledge that it's probably not true. I don't know that I have done the best with the time that I've had. I feel like I didn't squander time. It's not like I went and had a beer or something, but I don't feel like I made the best use out of the time periods. I would certainly structure things a little bit differently now that I know more, but that's part of playing a game for the first time. You're not going to do it the right way. If only I'd had a couple more days. Whatever happens, Piero knows you've been working hard on his behalf, and he's grateful for it. Only, Andreas... What is it? It's just, you know as well as I do, the Baron was not a good man. I'm not saying he deserved what he got, just, you think long and hard about what you'll tell the archdeacon, and who you tell him about. You understand? I don't need you to worry. I found nothing that implicates you. I don't even think that's what he was saying, though. Smile encouragingly. It's not me I'm worried about! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shout. You don't deserve that. All I'm saying is, if in your searching you heard anything about a certain sister... I'd ask you to keep it to yourself. I was not planning to say anything about that, by the way. Hello to Borlak. Borlak, I hope that your Thursday went okay. Yeah, so specifically what he's talking about, and just quickly, spoiler alert, because I do feel like there's different pathways through the game. We found out that Sister Vivian, I don't remember which one, but one of them had a really, really bad encounter with the Baron that they had to leave the convent for a while to recover. So, but the thing is, I don't think that person would have murdered the deacon. I just that's motive. It's not means or opportunity, right? So I feel like what's his face, the occult guy. I can't remember anybody's name in this. Anyway, we're not gonna betray that secret. I'll do what I can to protect the sisters from censure.
That's all I would ask of you. Be well, Andreas. I will pray for Piero's deliverance tonight. You should as well.
Warlock, I hope your Thursday has gone well.
Andreas, got dinner plans?
Perhaps another time? To be honest, I'm not even sure that I remember who Peter is, except that he's probably the dude who owns the farm where I live.
God bless you.
Okay, so who do we think we want to eat with? I can go to Johann Bauer's farm. I think I want to eat at the bakery. First of all, they're probably going to have the best food, and also, we've heard, like, there's something weird about the relationship between the Abbey, which wants to, like, raise a lot of money, but it doesn't seem to go anywhere, and the mill, which is, like, raising prices and stuff. And I haven't really worked out what all that is about. So let's go up north to the bakery. Oops. I wanted to talk to that guy. Or Endris, yeah.
Hello, Andreas.
God bless you, Andreas. Do you have time? Do you have dinner plans? Gret would like to have you at our table. I think so. It's like I went and I had dinner with like the abusive guy, and like he was like threatening to beat on his family while Andreas was there, and that sucked. And there was another dinner. Oh right, I had a meal with the widow of who's the guy that died? Baron. The Baron's widow. So I got a chance to eat with her, and there was one other I thought, but like it feels like, I don't know, every meal is an opportunity to learn something, and what I don't have on my plate right now is who would be better to eat with. So let's just have dinner here.
Good.
Father Thomas will be joining us as well. Swear to God, I've never seen Father Thomas before this. Bless us, O Lord, and these, your gifts, which are about to receive from your bounty. Amen. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. And then everybody says amen. Hey, did I ever get my hat back from her? The little girl there? Remember when she stole it?
Thank you for joining us, Father Thomas. It's an honor to have you at our table. Please, Ulrich, there's no need to stand on ceremony. You know I enjoy sharing a meal with you and your family. Especially when Gret serves her rye. Everyone is nuts about this rye bread. God bless you, Father. You're too kind. How has Peter been lately, Andreas? Fine as far as I could tell. Who's Peter? Is Peter the guy that we're eating with? I'm very, very, very bad with names today. Most of the peasants are in a bad mood. Between the miller and the abbot's taxes, they're in a hard place. More than a few of the families are having difficulty paying their bills. I can offer them credit, but I worry about the town's future when times are so hard for them. Yeah, I mean, let's get to it. This is why we're here talking about taxes. The Gertners are struggling to pay their taxes since the abbot raised them. It's made more difficult because the abbot won't allow them to pay in kind with their crops. Between the abbot's taxes and Lenhart's fees with the mill, they're struggling. This is exactly what I was hoping to talk about here.
Well, let's have a pretzel.
If I can give them some relief, I provide it joyfully.
He doesn't look like a very joyful guy. It's interesting that he's like, it seems like he's kind of nice. You have a kind heart, Ulrich. Perhaps too kind, though I do love that about you.
Should this really be of your concern, Ulrich? If the peasants are unhappy with their taxes or the miller's fee, they can propose a change.
Under Bavarian law, they would have no ground. It would amount to little more than a complaint with no legal weight. Sure, let's say that.
Well, I suppose that is true. Well, in any case, it is the miller not entitled to recompense for his labors. Is the abbot not entitled to taxes as the rightful lord of the land? This is the way it has always been, will always be.
God, I hope not.
Lenhart takes more than is fair. His behavior is not Christ-like.
And you will be the one to judge him, Ulrich Alban? Will you judge the abbot as well? I'm gonna have this cheese before I dip into the potage.
This is no matter to tease about. The peasants are suffering. The causes are plain to see. Your concern is admirable, Ulrich, but take care in how you speak about this. May I suggest that God speak to him?
Oh, you. Okay. Every time it leaves a blank, I usually think it's God, Christ, or Lord.
May I suggest that you speak to him on the peasants' behalf? Don't make accusations, but share your concerns. I have not found him to be an unreasonable man. With all respect, Father, I have been dealing with Lenhart Mueller and his father for over 20 years. I know the character of the Mueller men. Kindness and reason are not in their nature.
No, I met him too. He seems like a jackass.
God's love is within all of us, Ulrich, even Lenhart Mueller. Andreas, don't you think Ulrich should try reasoning with him?
I mean, it's never gonna hurt to try to reason.
Not the vigorous support I was hoping for, but it will do. Thank you. It's not that easy. I mean no disrespect, but neither of you can understand what the peasants are going through.
Oh? Did I mention that Sister Matilda came by today to buy bread for the sisters? Wow, what a non sequitur. She had a dark cloud over her. I think the Baron's death has upset many of the brothers and sisters in the Abbey. I can only imagine a murder that violent, especially of a nobleman. Sister Matilda seems so strong. I don't think I've seen her like this before. Sister Matilda is... Okay, just wearing a habit that doesn't illuminate that to me. I don't see a reason not to ask if she's spoken to her recently. Yes, when she comes to buy bread, the Abbey can make some of their own, but we provide the rest.
She walks with that Bohemian monk, Brother Woslav. He makes her laugh.
Oh, my heart, that's lovely.
It's not appropriate.
But Father, surely friendship between a brother and a sister united in Christ is all right, isn't it?
Not if they are sworn to celibacy, no. Troubling. Perhaps I should speak to Father Gernot about it.
I mean, like, why? What's your deal? Who cares? I guess in this environment, it's kind of your job to care. Like, others keep you on the straight and narrow and you keep them, but just forget it, man. Who cares? Clear throat.
Well, that was an excellent meal, Gret. Thank you so much for inviting me into your home.
Of course, Father. We're always honored to have you. As you say, I suppose. Well, I should get back to the counter. The... Bowerin? I think that is. I think it's B-A-U-E-R. That took a second. Bowerin ladies will be by for their bread soon. Thank you for a seat. Why would we not thank them for the seat?
It was our pleasure.
Like, when in doubt, say thank you. Who's Jacob? I need to go to the chapter house and meet with the archdeacon. Maybe that's Jacob. Hi! You want to give me my hat back now? Hello, Andreas. Please don't go upstairs. It's non-interactable.
Hello, Andreas.
I feel like we should pet Schlau at least once a day.
My name is Schlau the cat.
Hello, Andreas. Okay, I can't talk to her. I do every single time I go past this. I watch to see if the woman in the window is going to be there. The lady with the visions. Oh, right. I keep pushing up to, like, go down the path when what I need to do is just, like, press the button.
Hello, Master Maller.
Yes, I know that I'm going to the thing. I just wanted to, like... I've never been to the Shrine of Satya. The carving of Saint Satya. It looks quite old. Well, I guess that's what I can see of it. I do want to say, may also be Satya. I've not heard it said aloud, so if I'm saying it wrong, my bad. I haven't forgotten, incidentally, that we found the note that appears to indicate that... Who was it? The... Rothvogel, the Baron, and his killer were lured into the chapter house by an unknown third party. Like, that was heavily implied with one of the notes that we found, and I really have no leads on who that third party might be. Oh, hey man. You beat me here.
God bless you, Andreas.
Good day. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I really wanted a good day. Hey, Andreas.
Hello, Andreas.
Okay, we'll go to the chapter house. No one has anything to say to us right now.
Andreas?
Father Gurnet?
Master Mahler, if you think I am unaware of your actions around this abbey in the past few days, you are mistaken.
Oh?
I know that you visited the widow Kemperin and convinced her to question the legal status of her lease.
I'd say be direct, so what if I did? You're trying to trick her.
I don't need to trick her. I am the abbot of Kirsau. I was elected to this holy position by my brothers. I was invested with the power to rule this land by the lance of the Emperor, whose own right is derived from God himself. So forgive me if I do not respect the legal posturings of a failed university student.
I feel like this is much more... again, my default Andreas is hedonist. Someone who does what feels good, and I think that telling this guy to his face that he's an asshole feels good. Ah, there it is. A whiff of brimstone to accompany your heretical ideas. You and Lorenz Rothvogel were meant for each other. Now then, for all your meddling, you will be welcome in the Kirsau you will not be welcome in the Kirsau after your commission is completed. I don't think that I do apologize. Fine.
Your days of interfering in the daily life of this abbey will end.
Yes, I already understood that.
I'll leave you to the archdeacon now. Try not to perjure yourself. With an E.
Does perjure usually have an E? I'm pleased to say that I've never committed perjury, so I've never, like, been formally charged. What I can say is that I wouldn't have expected perjure to have an E. I don't know why. Perjury doesn't have an E. P-U-R-G-U-R-Y. I don't know if it had an E at the end. Oh yeah, we already looked at that. Please state your name for our records. Andreas Mahler, artist, recently of Ghent. Really? What brought you all the way to Upper Bavaria? So, this dude is the guy in charge, and he brought an executioner. You can actually see him right there in the very fancy pants. So, my thought is I want to be as forthcoming and truthful as possible. Absolutely no hint of evasion. I'm heading back to Nuremberg to finish my apprenticeship and open a workshop. It's the end of my Wanderhaar. Very well, thank you. Arnold, please write that down. I think we're ready to begin. Of course, Your Reverence. Now then, Master Mahler, what was your relation to Lorenz, the Baron Rothvogel? I only knew him for a day, but we were on friendly terms. Do you feel that you had a sense of him as a person? I think I'm getting there. Yes. How would you characterize him? I mean, any one of these things, but a nobleman for all the good and ill that goes along with that title. Do you have a problem with the nobility, Master Mahler? I like this. Of course not, Your Reverence. I don't. Like, I don't think that he would either. Like, the concept of nobility, the concept is gross, but do I hate all nobles because they're nobles? No, not really. That guy sucked for a lot of reasons. But even noblemen may be tempted to abuse their power. I understand your meaning, yes. Do you know of anyone who had a reason to harm the Baron? Yes. Well, I can't say no, but I want to be very careful not to talk about the sister or even the widow. Good. That might help us solve this problem that faces us. The Baron Rothvogel was murdered here in this very room. Someone did it. Father Gernot believes it was one of his monks, Brother Piero. I've met with Brother Piero and questioned him at length. While it seems unlikely that a man of his age and temperament could murder the Baron, he was discovered in flagrante delicto. Technically, he discovered the corpus delicti. Hold on, I do want to know what that means. The body of the crime, sometimes literal, often figurative. The principle that must be proven to establish a crime has occurred. Yeah, in this case, it was pretty literal. But was not caught in flagrante delicto. No, very true. He was near the knife. Master Mahler, I am not interested in your clarifications, technical or otherwise, on matters of Latin or law. If you wish to advocate on behalf of Brother Piero, I suggest shutting your mouth until I ask you a question. Piero had reasons to resent the Baron. The loss of his work, the insistence on discussing the writings of the troublemaker from Wittenberg. And, as for his age and infirmity, I myself have read many of the cases in which a man of modest strength succumbs to the temptations of the devil. Once seized by a devilish fever, the poor sinner gains an infernal power that allows him to inflict grievous wounds, sometimes fatal. So this dude literally believes in magic then. What I'm saying is that in spite of the curious circumstances, Brother Piero is the most plausible perpetrator of this most vile act. I understand that you are on friendly terms with Brother Piero. You also interacted with the Baron both in the town and the Abbey. Did you witness anything that suggests someone else could have murdered the Baron Rothvogel? So, we have nothing unlucky. I don't want to talk about this. I very much want to talk about this. And the local thief, no. So let me think about this. Ferenc was behaving suspiciously the day of the Baron's arrival. He may have had a motive. Yeah, of all the characters that we know about, Ferenc we have the closest to means, motive, and opportunity. That is an extraordinary claim, Andreas. The abbot speaks highly of the prior, and he oversees both your and Brother Piero's work, does he not? Yeah, I mean, let's speak our mind. Yes, but Prior Ference's role in the scriptorium has little bearing on his motive. An extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence for me to take it seriously. Why should I take the word of an artist over a respected officer of this abbey? I can provide evidence of Prior Ference's motive. Please do so. So, think carefully. We do have this. Baron Rothvogel and Prior Ference were exchanging letters about performing a magical ritual during the Baron's visit. This is much more direct. This gets right to it. I like this more. You have proof of this. I think I have both, don't I? I have the letter that the prior wrote the Baron and the imprint of a letter. Yeah, but here's the letter. Here's the prior wrote. Yeah, the letter. Here you go. In it, the prior mentions that he will not perform a ritual for the Baron, even if the Baron does follow through on a threat to implicate him to the Inquisitors of Innsbruck. An implication of necromancy is a serious matter. The prior's position would have been in peril, possibly even his life. And how do you believe Prior Ference would have killed the Baron? In a test of strength for the Baron's knife, it seems unlikely that the prior could have prevailed. Oh, but so much more likely that old Brother Piero could have done it. Oh my gosh, hello! Sorry, I've been caught up in the story. We're testifying to the archdeacon. Hello to Maxine and Patikin. Yes, so it looks like the raid might have been a little unsteady. Patikin, thank you so much for the stream of God of War earlier today. I was able to lurk through some of it. I was pretty busy, but had it on in the background, and I was very, very glad to see it. You're deep into the game now. I mean, look, this dude literally said that Brother Piero could have done it by infernal means. That is a bold accusation, Master Mahler. Is it? Prior Ference's interest in magic is at the heart of his motive. You yourself gave the example of an infirm man inflamed by malefic power, Your Reverence. Yes. Uh-huh. If murder was his goal, and Inquisition was the alternative, is it so bold to suggest he employed black magic? Very well. I have noted the possibility. Is there anything else to say about the prior? On the day that the Baron arrived... See, coming back to this makes a lot of sense. I secretly observed Prior Ference in the scriptorium. This goes to what I believe was the murder weapon. Matigan saying that he's got a lot of the main story done, so it was all of it was main. Got to a point where I can explore a lot again, which I'll be doing tomorrow. Awesome! Was this an intentionally covert operation? Yeah, I'm, again, as direct as we can. We don't want to babble, but we want to be extremely clear with him. I was working alone and had dropped something on the floor. The prior did not know I was there. Very well, continue. He wrote a note, a cipher, in a book. When I deciphered the note with a volvel, it pointed me to a grave in the cemetery. This is already quite elaborate, Master Mahler. How does it connect to the prior's motive? I found, buried in the grave, a number of occult items, a knife, a plate, and a cup, all engraved with magical symbols. The earth had been freshly turned. The prior had buried them the day of the Baron's arrival. Is there anything else to say about the prior? But I'm sorry, like, one of the things had, like, blood on it. That seems relevant, whether it was the prior's, or sorry, the Baron's blood or not. Very well. Who else may have wanted to see the Baron dead? No, no, no. So the thing is, we might get in trouble for, like, by the way, here's an unrelated thing, but if we don't advocate for the widow, who will? Now hold on, let me think about it, because I might be handing him a motive. It is saying that I have a concern. But am I risking putting her in his crosshairs? I don't think that I like this. I don't think it was Martin. First of all, Martin doesn't make any sense at all. The timing doesn't make... Nothing of it makes any sense. I don't want to talk about her, and I don't want to talk about him. So... I think I'm just going to walk away from this. For clarity, this is the fact that the abbot is basically plotting to take the land away from the widow, even though it's historically her husband's land and should go to her, if I remember correctly. And that's not fair, and she's going to lose her home. The trouble is, I'm legitimately concerned if I say this, I might be risking her life. God, I want to do this. I'm trying to think if Andreas would do this. Would Andreas say this? He's a hedonist, he's impulsive, but he's not a fool. He also studied law. Here's the thing, I am going to say this. I almost talked myself out of it, but my character is a lawyer and he's an orator. This is the best chance she's ever going to have to get that fixed. Man, I don't know. I just want to acknowledge I feel like this is dangerous, but I think that even if it is, I can talk my way around it. Is this relevant to the murder of the Baron? No, but as you represent the Prince Bishop and the abbot rules these lands, I was hoping you might listen. Please be brief, Master Muller. I have many more people to question. The abbot had Brother Guy write a letter to the widow about reclaiming her land. It's based on a false claim. False in what way? They claimed the lease was with the widow's late husband, Rannig Kemper. It was not. The lease began generations earlier with Otilia's great-grandfather. Okay, so they thought it was his father. I got it reversed, but it's Otilia. It's hers, her land. What substantive bearing does this have on the abbot's claim? If the existing lease allows for the widow to partition her land to other renters, she could pay the fees on the land. Yes, if it does. Many peasants in freeholds resort to such measures in hard times. Very well, Master Muller. I shall make my own inquiry after I have completed my work here. Oh, thank God. Now then, let us return to the matter at hand. Well, we're certainly not turning her in now. So I'm going to stop there. I have no evidence, literally no information about Lucky at all. I don't want to turn her in because I legitimately don't think that she did it, and I don't think that he did it. I think Martin's a little piece of shit, but I don't think that he murdered that guy. Very well. Are you aware of anything else that might shed some light on this case? Has Brother Florian told you about the note he found in the Baron's clothing? Okay, Brother Florian. Yes, Brother Florian explained how he came to find it and told me its contents. Master Edeljager has entered his testimony in our register. I don't understand the implications. Who is the innocent? It's not clear to me either, Your Reverence. Do you believe the murderer wrote it? Whoever wrote it was a talented scribe. I understand Kirsa has two, the elderly brother Adok and the younger brother Guy. To be frank, Your Reverence, neither man has the skill to write in this way. I was going to say, why do I have an uppercase I? I think, hold on, I might... Alright, sorry, you ever feel like a sneeze is going to come and then it doesn't? There's something else about it too. The style is just different. It's unlike Adok and Guy's writing, unlike mine. Yes, well, whatever the particulars, it seems it will remain a mystery that stands apart from the commission of the murder. In what way? How is it apart? Unfortunately, there's more to tell. I found another note. A note had been written in the same hand on the same type of parchment to the widow Kemperin. That is deeply troubling, but again, beyond the bounds of my investigation. In any case, I thank you for bringing it to my attention. How is it... Wait, what? Dude, we found a note on the murder victim that seems, if this is the note that I'm thinking of, this is the one. So they investigated the body. The eye patch guy investigated the body. He gave the note to Andreas on his pillow. If I remember correctly, that's the one that insinuated that that somebody got the Baron and the killer to go to the chapter house late at night at the same time in order for this encounter to occur. How is the fact that this is an unknown person with unknown writing, and yet we found a different letter sent to the widow unrelated to the case? Of course, Your Reverence. Until next time. Why, are we going to meet up later on for the next murder? There's no need to be a smart aleck, I don't think. Final day of Law and Judgment. Andreas, I didn't think you were coming to this. I didn't think I was either. I suppose I wanted to see how this ends after all. It was the prior of the Abbey, if you can believe it. Did you ever talk with him in the Abbey, Andreas? Wow, so we nailed him? Hold on.
You missed the trial, Andreas. That archdeacon read all the charges and found him guilty.
The thing is, my character's a little bit obsessed with dark magic. But this is pretty... Well, then again, this isn't fair, though. Like, I didn't know that he was obsessed with dark magic. It's not like he came in and talked about it all the time. Oh, Maxine hates that where you feel like you're gonna, like, sneeze. I'm gonna say that I didn't know that he had murder in him.
Oh, they want you to think that they're all so pious, but all they're here to do is slowly drain the life out of this town.
Calm down, Peter. Oh, here comes the procession. There's two separate characters here, I can't.
Did I miss anything?
No, you're fine.
Andreas?
Otto?
Agnes Day. I didn't do this. God knows.
Okay, there's just a lot happening. I can't read it all. Also with the Latin. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm not feeling really good about having pointed the finger at him.
Silence, silence. I order the executioner to carry out his duty. I warn him peace and safe conduct, whatever may befall him.
I feel like we have to watch. Like, we did this. I did this. This doesn't feel good.
My God! My God!
Oh God, they haven't invented the guillotine yet.
Hold still.
No. Jesus Christ. Oh no. Oh God. Oh, they didn't get him on the first one. I'm not pressing the button. This is moving quickly.
You have executed as judgment and law have required. For that I thank God and my master who has taught me such art.
Really? Because you were awful at it. 3, oi, ah.
I know this was your doing, Andreas.
I feel like we've already really burned the bridge with this guy. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself. You turned a blind eye to his activities for years.
How dare you? Do you understand the pressure I'm under to keep this abbey together?
Does that mean that you should ignore the fact that your prior studies black magic, or that he killed a man?
You are no longer welcome at Kiersau, Andreas Mahler. I will send your final payment to the Gertners. May you have a long and successful career in Nuremberg, and may you never travel this way again. I'm going to walk away very slowly, or else I'll trip over the front of my cape.
Andreas, has the time come for you to leave us?
I'm afraid so, Brother Piero. This farewell will have to be brief. Father Gernot made it clear I was no longer welcome at Kiersau.
I pray the time will soften Father Abbott's heart. I hope he eventually realizes you were only trying to help me. This is a sad parting, but inevitable. I had hoped you would stay a bit longer. But the world needs you more than Kiersau does. You have grown beyond this old abbey and become a master in your own right. I will miss you, my son.
I am gonna miss him, but I feel like this is more playful. I feel like this is more like our Andreas.
I pray that this is the last trouble I will see in my old age, and I have God and you to thank for getting me out of it. Come, your masterpiece is complete. May I see it one last time before you go?
Please, I value your assessment.
The opinion of one old monk matters little. All the same, I am excited to see it finished at last. Here it is. Oh.
Sorry, I'm looking at the art on the left. That's really, really high def stuff. That looks great.
It is a masterpiece truly worthy of the word. And it appears that you took my advice to heart.
What advice was that?
To put yourself into your work, not just to interpret another artist's work, but to transform it into something true.
I feel like we can, recognize some of the characters in this. I mean, not just Andreas, obviously. That's Peter. That's probably Clara to the left. Brig Jorg is right there. This is cool.
This shows the world as it is.
Sorry, hold on.
As you have seen it, even if it is not what we may want to see. Though it is not my place to say so, I am proud of you, Andreas.
Oh. Page fell out.
What's this? A scrap of parchment. Do not return here. A warning? Whose hand is this? It doesn't look like Brother Adok's or Brother Guy's.
Brother Florian and I found a similar note in the Baron's clothing. Well, I mean, this is true. I mean, we did find another, but this is something that we didn't really talk about during the investigation. Someone was trying to manipulate him into going to the chapter house in the middle of the night. It must have been written by someone who knew his secrets enough to provoke him. They tugged at those secrets to get him killed, like someone pulling at threads that had been buried in the past. Oh wow, hold on. Breaking news. Patina saying that E3 is cancelled again this year. E3 was out of it for years anyway. Summer Games Fest is much better, which was a replacement for E3 during early COVID times. Still around, and all the years that they did that was so much better. Did E3, Patina, I honestly don't remember. Did E3 happen last year, or was it still canceled last year, right? Yeah, E3, I don't know how it would ever come back if it's canceled now.
A frightening thought, but who would do such a thing?
I wish I knew.
Do not trouble yourself overly about it. Your future lies outside of these walls. I hope that you will have time to visit me once or twice in your travels before the Lord takes me.
I'm sure we'll see each other again. Assuming Father Gernot doesn't forbid it.
We must have faith that better days lie ahead for all of us. God bless you, Andreas Muller.
Thank you for... I want to go friendship, not guidance. Friendship. Am I old now? Oh yeah, look, that's his grave. Are you alright, Master Andreas? What? Are you alright, Master Andreas? Yes, thank you. I was just remembering him. Trying to, anyway. It doesn't come easily anymore. Oh, would you like me to leave you alone? No, Caspar, that's not necessary. There's nothing to be done about it now. It's too late. Like, so many things. Wow, Guy hasn't changed much. Andreas Muller, I never expected to see your face here again. Have you been in Nuremberg for these last 7 years? No, Nuremberg for a few years, but I received some lucrative commissions abroad. I want to say... I kind of want to go to, Spain and learn some Arabic. Yeah. I spent quite a few years. I spent a few years in Aragon. They're quite fond of the Netherlandish painters, and my style was, well, close enough. Are they still conducting those ghastly inquisitions there? Across the peninsula, yes, though less so in Aragon. Why? I find them cruel. The Jews were ejected from the Dion? I don't know how to do it. As well, an ugly part of our history. I'm surprised you care at all. Well, I'm not about to leap into a fire to save anyone, but I don't think it's right what's happened to them. In spite of your extensive travels and success, you're still not welcome in Curacao. The abbot hasn't forgotten what happened. 7 years isn't all that long. I simply wanted to pay my respects to an old friend. Surely you understand that. I understand why Father Abbot expelled you from the Abbey. What were you expecting? A hero's welcome? Sorry, he's gonna get snottier now. By the way, Patikan is saying... last year was canceled too. Year before that it was happening, and it was shit. When me and Tashir was watching so many showcases in a short time. It was exhausting. Yeah, I couldn't remember what... I felt like it had not happened since COVID, but it was like, didn't it happen at one point? I couldn't remember. I don't really feel like I need to argue with this guy. I feel like I'm just gonna go. Landhouse is an inn or tavern usually owned and operated by a single family that serves travelers in rural areas. The Golden Hand, I'll tell him, but I can't imagine he'll care. Why is he so rude? God bless you. No, be off. Me. That monk seemed unhappy to see you, Master Andreas. Why is the abbot so angry with you? Toward the end of my stay in Tassing, there was a murder at Curacao Abbey, a nobleman. Father Gurnet panicked and accused my friend, Brother Piero, of committing the crime. I've always been direct, I think. As I have. I helped convince the investigating archdeacon that another monk was responsible, Prior Ference. He was executed for the crime. You got someone killed? It was that or let an innocent man die. That's not much of a choice. Still, I would have been scared. Why didn't you mention it before? Well, I suppose it must have been a hard situation It must have been a hard situation about if the abbot... I suppose it must have been a hard situation about if the Abbot is still this mad at you. That's a weird sentence. What is the about doing in there? Well, if it was just, I suppose it must have been a hard situation if the abbot is still this mad at you. But why is there a word? Is that? Can somebody better at words tell me why that about is in the middle? That's a weird thing. I don't feel very good about how it worked out. I had to make some difficult choices. Maybe they were the wrong ones. I've had to live with that. Why did we come here if you're not welcome? I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. And to be honest, I'm not looking forward to returning to Nuremberg. This commission is an obscene vanity piece under the pretext of a religious scene. My patrons just want to celebrate themselves and their wealth. I dread each new commission more than the last. Every step I take towards home is agonizing. But Master, you're famous and rich. Your work is wonderful. When I saw your altarpiece in Nuremberg, I begged my father to help me become your apprentice. I don't understand how you could accomplish all that you have and still be unhappy. I don't want to be like my brothers. I thought that was my dream. All that I've accomplished is my work, yes. Now I'm left hollow with nothing else left. I feel like somebody who, like, lived as a hedonist might wind up that way. Like, sort of bored with all of this stuff. I don't know. And I don't think that Andreas was very much like him. He seems much more innocent than Andreas at any point that we've known him. I'm gonna go with this. Now, all that I've accomplished is my work. Once I wanted this life so much that it consumed my every waking thought. I don't know if I've changed or if what I wanted was never really real. Maybe I've been a fool this whole time. Oh, no, we're not going to tell him to, like, the fact that Andreas isn't happy with how he ended up doesn't mean that we're going to dissuade Caspar from coming down this same line. Like, yeah, Caspar could go, like, till the fields his whole life either, but, like, being wealthy, comfortable, and bored is better than backbreaking labor until you can't lift a hoe and then you die of starvation or whatever. Like, all right. Yes, Master Andreas. Well, come, let's visit my old friend Klaus. It's been too long. Klaus is that guy. He certainly is my friend. I very much care. I can't believe that I have gone so long without discovering what happened to Klaus. Visit Klaus. Or go to bed. No, we're gonna go visit Klaus. His room is sparse compared to what I'm used to. I'm a big shot now. Hello, Andreas. How are you enjoying your stay? I'm not going to complain about the room. Get out of here. It's been wonderful, Hannah. Thank you. Oh, good. You're in the best room we have. I'm glad it's to your liking. Was there anything else? No, thank you. Until later. Until then. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to leave. I was going to talk to everybody. I didn't realize that was a door. I thought it was like a post of some kind. Good day, Master Mahler.
Oh, Master Mahler, is it? Hello and welcome to the Golden Hand. I'm Nico Berger. I own this Lend house and run it with my wife Hannah and our son Killian. It seems strange that I wouldn't have introduced myself earlier. I believe my boy helped you to your room. Is it to your liking?
It is lovely, thank you. Even if he's like, oh, this isn't what I'm used to, why be like all like snotty about it?
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. When you arrived in town, one of the locals said you lived here a few years back.
Yes, I worked for the Abbey as an artist. We can go with Anne, but why be unfriendly?
Ah, yes, I see. I heard that you were involved in solving a murder.
This would be weird. Yes, out of necessity. The wrong man was being accused of the crime, a friend of mine.
Oh, I heard it was the prior at the abbey. That baron was a sacrifice in some diabolical spell the brother was casting.
No, he wasn't a cat. Like, we're going to, we're getting introduced to what the legend of this is now. Hello to Takarosh. How does chicken and turkey hot dogs with lettuce, tomato, and red onion in a brioche bun sound to you? I personally would go without the lettuce, but on the whole, I think it sounds wonderful. And by the way, I don't hate lettuce. I like lettuce a lot in like a salad or whatever, but like lettuce on a burger is not as much good to me as like as lettuce in a taco or a burrito. You put some like sliced up lettuce in that, I really like it. On a burger, on a hot dog, I don't know. It's less for me. And hello to Takarosh. City Morgue, you stab him, we bag him. Takarosh likes a little veggie on the hot dogs. I would say that I like veggie in the form of fruit, but ketchup is... to the extent that ketchup has any tomato in it, that would... I really messed that up. Veggies in the form of ketchup. What did I say? Tomatoes are a fruit, is the point. Sorry. Also, a lot of ketchup is just like high fructose corn syrup and red coloring. I don't think there's a lot of tomato in most of the big brands. He wasn't casting a spell.
Oh, bits and pieces that people have said here and there.
It sounds like this story has changed in the last 7 years.
I meant no offense, Master Muller. I just find it to be an interesting story.
I don't think that I'm going to... It is a story. Like, it's not a story. It is. Everybody else here heard about this through this elaborate game of telephone or whatever they played before telephones was invented. And now the truth has sort of been lost and twisted. I'm not going to say that it's not a story. It's become one.
Oh, of course. Again, I meant no offense. Well, I'll leave you to your day. Until later.
Until then. Samuel.
Hello, Andreas.
Okay, let's leave him polishing his sword there. Takarosh is saying the way that I feel about it. Tomato is botanically a fruit, but culinarily a veggie. Okay, and Takarosh is saying Heinz ketchup is 61% tomato puree. Brother Woslav uses thyme in almost all of the Abbey's cooking. Maybe it's because it grows so easily here.
Just do it. You know it's the right thing. I don't understand why this is so hard for you.
Oh, is this Martin? Otto, I'm scared. It's dangerous to cross the Abbot.
Would you prefer the alternative?
You don't need to do that, Otto. I understand. I'm just saying...
Andreas? Andreas Muller? It's good to see you again, old friend.
Otto, you're looking well. This is my apprentice, Kaspar Ziegler, from Salzburg. A small city located on the river Salzach and founded on Roman ruins. Rumors of violence and rebellion in the city are becoming more common, Kaspar's hometown. The Norwegian brand Idun's ketchup is 80% tomato puree. I bet that would taste better. I'm not good with, like, taste any more than I am with, like, color or faces or names or almost anything. But I bet that I would be able to tell the difference between 61% tomato and 80% tomato. Among other things, I bet it wouldn't be as sweet as American ketchup.
Ah, that answers that. I thought he might be your son.
I'm going to go with we don't grow them that fast even in Nuremberg. Again, it's more playful. I don't want to be like dour and sad.
They grow fast enough around here. Evan and I just had our first, little Otto, though we call him Oats. There's a picture of him. He's still in swaddling clothes.
Congratulations to you both. That's wonderful news.
Thank you. It's been a trial with Dad gone, but Clara and Ursula help out where they can.
Oh, look, Ursula grew up. She couldn't even talk before. Wow, she's going to be plus 7 years? What do we think that she was before, 1 or 2? She was walking, but she didn't talk very much. I'm sorry to hear about your father.
That's life. At least he's with the Lord now, free of his aches and pains. I know Eva wrote to you about my father's death, Andreas. Why didn't you write back?
I'm gonna sigh and look at the ground, I think. That feels really embarrassing. Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I should be heading back. I feel like I should remember Martin's face, but I can't place the fact that it's Martin. Oh, don't trouble yourself. It's me, Martin, remember? Oh, yes, of course. Hello, Martin. I've never been rude to this kid. I've always been really, well, guy, now. Hello, sorry to run, but I have to get these sheep back to the farm. As much as I love whiling away the hours in the meadows, I have a lot to attend to. Otto, I'll see you at the meeting later. Andreas, until later. Good to see you, Martin. I didn't see that there was a thought cloud. Takarosh is saying that he's found that while he prefers Heinz ketchup, most Norwegian versions of food are better tasting and better quality and texture.
Pain in my ass.
Yeah, is something happening in town?
You've picked an interesting time to visit. Come by the town commons in a while. I think you'll be interested to hear what I have to say.
I didn't realize you were in the business of giving speeches. I'll definitely attend.
Sounds good. Until later, then.
The many-petaled cinquefoil? I don't know. I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure. It grows so easily, some consider it a weed. Oh, I have taken a look at that one. Hey, wow, Schlau is still kicking 7 years later, huh? I mean, cats can live a while. Little surprise. What a stunning collection of wildflowers. They all grow so plentifully in the mountains. Oh, do you think Paul is still doing art? Paul is the kid, the Miller's kid. Mueller. We're gonna go to the ruins, because that's where Paul was doing his drawing, but I want to see, oh. Okay. Well, let's go to the ruins then. Doesn't look like his art has gotten all that much better. Wait, sorry. Okay, nope, there's nothing over there. Takarosh is saying that he's heard of cats living over 25 years. Yeah, I think that, like, 20 is old, but not completely out of the question.
Andreas, I'd heard you were back in Tassing. God bless you.
God bless you, Father Thomas. It's good to see you again.
Hopefully this visit will be less eventful than your last. Tassing has enough going on as it is. We have our bonfire for St. John's Eve tomorrow night. People get up to all sorts of mischief.
The feast and celebration of St. John the Baptist, beginning at sunset on June 23rd, coincides with Midsummer's Day and the summer solstice.
Then it's my job to hear their confessions in the days that follow.
Not to mention the grumbling the peasants are making.
That's just talk, brother. No need to scare our guests with such things.
I'm sure if there's trouble, Master Mahler will be the first to stick his nose in it. He is an asshole. Sometimes you don't have to call it out. I'm gonna go with a version of Andreas that is a little bit more conciliatory and maybe has learned in the last 7 years that not every fight is worth having. You know, maybe he's a little bit more reserved. 38 years was the world's oldest cat. Oh. That's a really old cat. It's easy enough for you to come and go. You don't have to live with the consequences. After Ference was executed, Father Abbot made Matthew the new prior. Ference may have been annoying, but that Matthew is even worse. Thanks for that. It would have been better for everyone if you had simply allowed Brother Piero to die. Okay, now, nope. After all, he only had a few years left anyway. You're a buffoon and a coward who hides behind his habit. It's so much more or. Is it worse if we don't say anything? Is it more threatening? No, he's an orator. He fights with his words. You're a buffoon and a coward who hides behind his habit.
Friends, there's no need for such ire.
Okay, he literally just said what he said about Brother Piero, who is a good friend. Forgive me, Father Thomas. I let my passions get the better of me. Besides, that's not even why I came down here. I actually came to speak to you on the abbot's behalf, Andres. Are you serious? Am I being charged with something? Because otherwise, I don't know what you're going to say. It's certainly, like, you can't possibly have come here for anything other than, like, animosity after that whole exchange. Father Gurnet would like to invite you to come to the library tomorrow morning if you're interested in purchasing some of our books. Are you fucking high? The abbot just had me run off, and now he wants me back? I can't know the mind of the Father Abbot. I just do what he asks. The library is not quite ready yet, as it does not see much use. If you could come by tomorrow morning, Mother Illuminata can show you what's available. Mother Illuminata? Yes, since Mother Cecilia passed away a few years ago. Does she look like a corpse now? No. How did she die? Peacefully, in her sleep. So tomorrow morning? Okay, tell him to expect me. I wouldn't want to go there. I really wouldn't. I don't know what... I'm just saying that I wouldn't. I don't know that Andreas had a lot of other, like, friends that hung out in the Abbey. It felt to me like he was way closer with people out in town, but sure. Oh, I'm sure he'll be overjoyed. And Andreas, I apologize for my harsh words before. It was rash. He's so insincere. Brother Piero was a pious man and a skilled artist. We miss him. Okay. How much more hollow can it possibly be when the last time that he invoked Brother Piero's name was saying, we all would have been better off if you would let him get executed because he only had a couple years left anyway. This guy can go, like, if you're gonna be a dickhead, just commit to it. Yeah, an excellent performance, Brother Guy. I almost believed you.
Andreas, please.
It's fine, Father. Oh, Father Thomas, do you have a moment to speak inside the church? We're obviously planning an ambush of Andreas, because otherwise why would we be inviting him up to the Abbey?
Oh, I think so. Why?
A private matter.
Oh, of course.
Until tomorrow, God bless you, Andreas. If Andreas doesn't smell a trap, like, there's times when it's like, well, I'm playing a video game, so I'm, like, looking at it through the laws of, like, what would make for an interesting story. I'm saying separate and apart from that. You come back to this place after 7 years of what went down, when you embarrassed and inconvenienced, which I know doesn't sound like as bad, but, like, Father Gurnet, we took his right-hand man and got him executed in the town square. It was a bad look for him, a bad look for the Abbey. It probably put him in a lot of hot water with the archdiocese or the Lord High Commander or like whatever his boss was. Like, it was a bad scene. And now we come back 7 years later, and yeah, Andreas has a lot of money, but so did the Baron that just got murdered. Well, I guess just got murdered 7 years ago. He also had a lot of money and power. I think that Andreas would be very wise to stay in public areas and to leave as fast as he possibly can. Okay, we can't go in there. Do you think... Oh, maybe the widow still has her home because of the argument that we made. Martin Bauer's house. So Ottilia still has a home. Like, there's a structure defined as her home. We just can't go into it right now. Man, nobody's here. I wanted to visit, Clara and Anton. Did I know Anton?
Hello, Mr. Muller.
He's probably one of the kids, and I just don't remember which one. Zimmerman house. It was Clara, Ursula, Peter, I think, and then who else was one of the Gertners? The other woman that was always there. Hello? Oh, what's up, Klaus? Oh, this is who I was meant to visit. It had to put the typesetting on there.
Andreas.
Oh, look, she's petting the cat down there. That's cool. You're not really mad, are you?
No, I was mad years ago. Now I'm just annoyed and disappointed.
First Bert, then Marie, just after Magdalene was born. Wait, what do you mean first Bert? What happened? Wait, hold on.
I wasn't expecting lengthy replies to my letters, Andreas, but acknowledgement of their passing would have been nice.
No! What, it must have been, my guess is disease, but that sucks. I should have written, say nothing, no.
Yes, you should have. It's too late for that now, though.
We had dinner here. Boopy Bobo. Oh, hello.
She likes you.
Your business seems to have grown. What are you printing?
12 articles. They were originally written by Swabian peasants who were demanding changes from their lord. Freedom from serfdom, freedom to hunt and use the woods as God intended, freedom from compulsory labor, abolition of the inheritance tax, fair appraisal of rent, and return of property to common use and ownership. Bavaria isn't Swabia, which is apparently a former duchy in the southern Holy Roman Empire. Reformed as the Swabian Circle in 1512, it borders Bavaria to the west, the Swiss Confederacy to the south, and Austria to the southeast. But their complaints are just as valid for the peasants of Tassing.
The laws may not be just, but they are the laws. I feel the people in Tassing are putting themselves in peril. But it's a just cause. Like, I don't want to say this.
Oh, has he caught your ear already, hmm? The abbot's been squeezing the peasants for years. Now he's squeezing the townsfolk, and we're pushing back. Their cause is righteous, Andreas. If you haven't seen the Gertners lately, you should visit them.
And Otto had you print these?
Yes, why?
I didn't think he could read.
He can't, but just about everyone else in town can. He speaks, I print. Just trying to do my part, I suppose. I'm sorry, I'm still not in the mood for this late reunion. Come back for dinner tomorrow. You should go to the Commons and hear what Otto has to say. It's worth hearing.
Of course, I'll see you then. Be good while we're gone, Magdalene. Will you be good? Gab gab garoo. A cold reunion. We did it. So, this is uncommon, but just hold on a few seconds because there's sort of an issue happening here in the room. I'll be right back. All right, sorry for the delay. I try not to have dead air stepping away from the mic, but had to tend to something, and we're back. So I did want to go to the Gertners. I tried to go there earlier. Let's look at the map. So that's me. Oh no, I'm going to the town commons. Okay, we'll probably just go to the town commons. I feel like we can wander around a million years, but not necessarily find stuff. Mystical spirit? Andreas has absorbed some concepts of Christian mysticism from the heretical book he found in Kirsau's scriptorium. He's continued his studies with other translated texts as he found them. Interesting! So we've, like, learned more about, like, occult stuff. I wasn't thinking of or expecting that, but that's cool. So many people.
Everyone, listen. We all know why we're here. Nothing I'm gonna say will be a surprise. Nothing I'm gonna say hasn't already been spoken behind closed doors, whispered to your neighbors. Nothing I'm going to say is untruthful, so it's time we started saying it openly. Year after year, the Abbey has found new ways to tax the peasants. Piece by piece, the Abbey has taken away our rights to use God's force to support our families. Law after law gets heaped upon us, restrictions on how we can pay rent, limits on where we can move, who we can wed. And now the death tax, which once claimed only our best animal and garments, takes half our estate. No consideration for widows, no consideration for children. What about the town council, the Rathaus?
A community hall where people meet, typically a council that governs day-to-day affairs under the authority of a lord.
Surely that's a sign that the abbot wishes to share his power, to listen to our grievances. You have a good heart, Ulrich. You always want to see the best in people. But no. The council is a way for the abbot to divide us, to pit a favored few against the many. This is not charity. No, only greed and desperation drive Father Gurnet. You'd think that if the abbot could, he'd steal a dead man's soul from heaven itself. I'm so aware of the fact that I think I'm probably mispronouncing Gurnet, and I just don't know what, like, Gurno? What should it be? Does anybody know? Because that's probably, like, not an uncommon name for this time and place, and I just don't have any idea what it's supposed to be. And when we protested, what bid Father Gurnet to do? He locked the shrine of St. Moritz. He won't allow the people of this town, the farmers of this land, to pray before the relic.
Now, when we most need the intercession of our saint, the abbot has shut us out. Father Gernot's actions aren't just. They aren't Christian. We've endured this abuse for too long. It's time we let the abbot know we won't take it anymore. Oh, everybody's raising their fists. Too right. Hear, hear. Yes! This has to stop. Let's fix this.
Stop! This is foulish, or foolish. Soldiers are already patrolling nearby towns. If you push against the abbey, you'll incur the Duke's wrath. You could get the town razed and everyone killed. Who is he gonna tax at that point? Like, okay, he's raising everybody's taxes, then he kills everybody. What's your next source of income?
Hannah's right. The Duke is a powerful force in Bavaria. You're playing a dangerous game, Otto. You lot are no match for trained soldiers.
And I know this happens in like real life, where they'll like probably kill a bunch of the men or something, just like prove a point and stop like a militant uprising. Like these things happen, but it's just they can also just lower the taxes a little bit. Like anyway,
you lot, whatever they said. If you don't relent, you'll be ground into dust like the Swabian peasants.
We can always grind you up instead, Lenhard. That might be right if there are already soldiers about. I don't know. Look out for. Stand for what's right. God is on our side. ...
Don't be shy. Speak up if you have cause.
We won't be overrun. The peasants of Salzburg were able to take the city and have their cause heard. If the people can get the Archbishop of Salzburg to listen to them, then we can do the same with the abbot. Master Andreas, do you think my family in Salzburg is okay? All right? I don't know, but we can find out. All right. Enough is enough. We can't stand idly by. We can't stand by while the abbot continues treating us poorly. Wow, Martin really has grown up. I like this version a lot more. People all over Swabia are taking back their God-given rights. Why shouldn't we do the same?
A righteous cause. Martin's right.
We deserve better.
We can do this. Well spoke, Martin. Everyone ought to consider what he's sold. Martin has proved dependable these last few years. But if the words of men can't persuade you, perhaps a sign from a greater power will. The abbot may have locked us out of our saint's shrine, but God has shown me that he is with us. ... I think that's all I should say for now. Thank you for coming.
Good day, Andreas. Clara, it's been too long. It's lovely to see you again. Hello, Andreas. I'm surprised to see you after your long absence from Tassing. At this rate, we thought we'd never see you again. I think we can still do some flirt. Hello, Eva. After all these years, and you're looking lovely as ever. Andreas, please, that's enough. I'm married, Rao. Of course, Eva. Whatever you require. You haven't changed a day, have you?
You found the Gertners.
Your speech was very rousing, Otto. I swear they get better each time. Hopefully this is a little bit more playful. Are you looking for trouble, Otto? I don't think it is. Hello to Grumpy. Grumpy, are you still on your trip? I know it's going to be about a week, so I think that the answer is yes. I hope it's been going okay, or that you've had a safe trip home.
Of course not, but I understand what might happen if the abbot doesn't listen to reason. Even so, the people here can't go on like this. Something has to charge.
Say nothing. I don't want to push that. I don't want to squelch this. Like, what they're doing is dangerous, but he knows that. So why am I going to continue to harp on that? Last day, says Grumpy, he'll be home tomorrow. When it's time, Grumpy, safe travels. I know the family will be very glad to have you home. Wow, hold on. So we have lots of ways to make Elder talk about his god. We understood why so many people hate the abbot, disobeyed the abbot to get Otto's help for the dig, suggested someone should do something about unjust laws. Yeah, we did. Stood your ground when Matthew approached the grave. Oh, right. We got 3 ups for that. Said you didn't care if Matthew told the abbot about the dig. Why was that good? Anyway.
It is, Andreas, I swear. Come talk to me later. I'll tell you what I can, all right?
Anyway, Andreas, you and Oyus should come by the house for supper. We'd be delighted to have you. We'll be there. Wow, I guess we just stood here until it was time for supper. That's still gonna happen. So, like, I'm gonna, like, go up to the bakery, for example. I just want to see if there's any... Oh, Endris.
Andreas, you're back in Tassing.
Just for a few days, I wanted to pay my respects for Brother Piero.
Oh, yes, Brother Piero. What a talent with color. I'm sorry, Andreas. He was a sweet old man. I talk to him sometimes on my breaks up at the Abbey.
I'm surprised Prior Ference didn't give you an earful.
Well, he did before the unpleasantness. I'm sure you know it shook up things at the Abbey for a while.
Brother Guy made it clear I wasn't welcome at Kiersau when I arrived, so yes.
For what it's worth, you're still welcome in Tassing. Anyway, Matthew's prior now, still strict,
but a bit whiffer about it. I hope Matthew remembers that we, like, totally kept his secret and also don't care. Like, it's fine. But, like, we're cool, dude, right? Like, maybe he won't be as much of a jerk about it. Then again, I am expecting there to be some sort of, like, it's the abbot specifically that I'm worried about. And I do think Matthew is quite pious.
True, you wouldn't think piety could be uncommon in an abbey, but with Father Gernot...
Are you with the peasants, Endris?
Well, of course. Gernot has been running them into the ground. On top of that, we can't even use the forest anymore. Any of us used to be able to go fishing in there. Not anymore.
How far are you going to take this?
Well, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not leading this thing. But I trust in Otto, and the peasants bow too.
He's a good man.
The whole town knows it, even Lenhart, even though he wouldn't admit it. Say, Andreas, how's the married life been treating you? After you left here to return to Nuremberg, I assume you married that girl of yours, Sabine?
How about just I did? Maybe we don't have to give a long explainer on why we wound up getting married to her.
I hope the married life has treated you well. I still have not opened anybody. I fear it's never gonna happen.
Really? Not a single person has caught your eye?
Well, when I was in Innsbruck for a few years ago, I saw a real pretty girl at the market selling painted pots. I think about her sometimes, maybe more than is Christian.
I am not going to tell this man or anyone not to seek love in their lives. Oh, I mean, among other things, like, I know that they're sowing the seeds here that Andreas is, like, you know, kind of miserable with, like, his lot in life, but I don't know. That doesn't... Just because he didn't find life to be everything that he wanted it to be, maybe he doesn't need to, like, shit on everybody else's enthusiasm. Go back to Innsbruck, find the pretty girl.
What? Really?
I have no idea what this means. Do you think Tyrolean men are better than Bavarians? Am I the Bavarian there? I don't know what that means. Life is too short to spend dreaming about the loves you could have had. Trust me. And I'm a hedonist, so you know what I'm talking about.
You seem to feel strongly about this, Andreas. But it sounds foolish, juvenile, you might say.
You know what? It just feels right. He's a hedonist. This is what he would say.
Well, if I ever have the chance to get back to Innsbruck, maybe I will. There's something to look forward to. There's something to look forward to, after all. Thank you, Andreas. You're a man of inspiration.
A pleasure. Until later, Andres.
Till then.
See, I want to have conversations like that. I want to, like, follow up with people. Hello, Master Andreas. God bless you, Andreas. I'm thankful you returned to Tassing after so long. We prayed so fondly for you after you left. This is kind of funny, but also kind of like, oh, woe is me. Thank you, Gret. I've kept Tassing in my prayers as well. But Andreas should still have some attitude. I'm going to say that's very kind of you, because the trouble is, it feels like Andreas has really not kept in touch with people. It feels disingenuous to be like, oh yeah, I think of you guys all the time. I think he probably does. Like, factually, I think he probably does. But I don't think that he'd want to admit that because he didn't bother to keep in touch. And then I went and said it. Whoops. Though it doesn't seem to have done much good. Ah, that's all right. You were at Otto's speech earlier. Yes, Tassing's peasants are struggling, and now even we townsfolk are pinched by the abbot's new restrictions. I worry about my husband. He's getting too involved in the whole business. I like the top one. No, I like the top one. What Gernot is doing in Tassing is wrong, and Otto is standing up to him. That's what Ulrich says too. I love my husband, but sometimes I worry that it focuses too intently on the details. He does not see that we may be both prudent and Christian. I pray that I am not acting selfishly. The abbot's taxes have affected us too. What about Anna's future? Holy shit, hold on. Is she... I think she's wearing Andreas's hat. I didn't, like, recognize that earlier. I think that she's actually wearing Andreas's hat from all those years ago. That's so cool. Ulrich has been offering credit to Peter for years, which I've accepted, but now we can only bake so much bread a week before we go hungry ourselves. Can you talk to him, Andreas? Of course. I can't promise I'll... Wait, but she's... What does she want us to talk to him about specifically? Does she want him to drop out of fighting for the peasants? Anyway, I'm going to try to change his mind. God bless you, Andreas. That's all I ask. I wonder if I hadn't, like, given up my hat to the little girl, if I'd still have it, but it would all be, like, patchy. Patched up, splitting apart at the seams. The Roth's construction is going smoothly. I wonder if they'll finish it before winter.
Yes?
Oh, right, the doctor guy. Oh, Andreas Mahler, how unexpected. I'm very busy at the moment. Another time. Later then. I've never met this person before.
Salutations, you must be that wonderful artist, no?
Master Andreas Mahler, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Balthazar Isenkopf at your service,
But call me Baltus, please. It's much more familiar.
a pleasure. Have you been in Tassing long?
Oh, just a few seasons. My cart broke down, and I found the place so charming, I decided to stay.
I enjoy the quiet, but I must say I do miss the company of other intellectuals. Usually that good Dr. Stoltz and I whittled the hours away in the evenings. So, naturally, when I heard a well-known artist had returned, I was beside myself. I'm always pleased to meet a like-minded individual. What do you do? I'm an inventor of sorts.
Really? What do you make?
All sorts of things, young man. Mechanical clocks of all sizes, metal mice that skitter about, even light without flame.
Truly impressive, Baltus.
Thank you, Andreas. I knew a fellow artist such as yourself would appreciate my work. Well, I'd best get back to it. You know how it is for us few, called to a higher art.
Good luck, Baltus. Until later. Okay. I like the fact that there's some new residents, like some new people have shown up. It's not just all the old faces. Cassie's lucky to have so much wound wart naturally growing. I had to buy it back in Nuremberg. Okay, I thought that was actually a continuation of the path. Alright, whoops. I want to see the mill. I want to talk to Paul. Oh, Lucky.
Andreas, back in Tassing, I see.
I came to visit the grave of Brother Piero and pay my respects.
Your friend, didn't mind him, was a proper Christian.
He was a kind man.
God rest his soul. Hope God, he, gives us some peace too. Troubled times.
I assume you're referring to Otto's speech?
Won't end well. Life's getting harder for everyone, but if this shit goes on, there'll be backlash, a bloody one. Don't like the abbot coming for my fishing rights, but I'll make do.
I'm not sure if their lives are comparable to ours. Comparable.
I work for my wages like any man, Andreas. We work, we don't complain. It's not Christian.
How's your family doing in these troubled times?
We're fine. Agnes is fine. Brigida and Martin are fine. Martin's becoming far more responsible a man after his return. I just wish, never mind.
Raise eyebrow quizzically.
I wish Wolf hadn't died.
Wolf was a little kid, the little baby, wasn't he? I mourn the boy.
After all these years later, I hoped he'd take up my mantle. I wanted to pass on my knowledge and trade.
I'm sorry. I feel like this is more personal than just rest in peace.
Yeah. Perhaps Brigida will have another while I live. She seems happy enough with Martin. I'd love to hear all the patter of small feet again. A boy to hold a chisel and a mallet. A little stonemason making his grandfather proud.
Well, I hope your wish comes true.
God willing. Enough idling now. Got things to do. Until later, Andreas.
Till then. Oh, Andreas, how good it is to see you again.
And who's this?
Hello, Agnes. This is my assistant, Caspar. Hello. What a hale-looking boy. And you, Andreas, you look very well. Why are you back in Tassing? I'm gonna let everybody know, like Father Piero was important. I came to pay respects to his grave. Oh, of course. I'm sure the brothers appreciate that. The last few years have been difficult for everyone. We've lost so many. I heard Bert and Marie had passed. That's really sad, too. Like, so is Wolf. Like, what I don't know yet is why did they all die? I know they didn't have the greatest life expectancy. It could have been, like meningitis for all I know, but it's like, what's up? Poor Klaus. I hope you stopped in to talk with him. He sent you letters. Yeah, apparently I didn't respond to any letters. Yes? Anyway, I won't burden you with all of Tassing's troubles. It's been good to see you again, Andreas. Until later. Till then. Is Klaus upstairs? I bet I can't go there. Or wait, Klaus was the dude that we talked to first, I think. Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down to supper. Care to join? Well, I mean, if I can walk around a little bit. I do want to check in with the widow. I feel like I'm in a new time period now after the meeting. Andreas Mahler. Didn't expect to ever see you back in Tassing. You look like you've done well for yourself. Thanks, how have you been? Not good. I never was able to get a hold of old Ranig's land. I might have been able to take over my brother's plot, but I'm sure you heard Martin found his way back. I don't know. Even if I had 2 extra plots, the abbot would find some way to make me regret it. We're taxed so hard, we can't keep up, Andreas. Sounds like a lot of people are upset with the abbot these days. They have good reason to be. I know you didn't get on well with the man either. Father Matthias never let things get this bad. Anyway, good to see you, Andreas, even if you are just passing through. Till later. Hey, Andreas. I heard a rumor you were back. Hello, Hans. Meet Caspar, my apprentice. Hello. Hello. Are you from Nuremberg like Andreas? I'm from Salzburg. Is that very far from here? Not too far, I think. A few days to the east on horseback. I've never been outside of Tassing. Or ridden a horse. Tassing is a wonderful place to live. Except for, you know, all of the children dying. I guess some of the men in town say it would be better if the abbey weren't around. They might be right about that. What do you think? I don't know. Could be nice to have a change. Be careful what you wish for. Change does not come peacefully in the Empire. I guess we'll see. Until then, Hans. Okay. Hello, Andreas. Okay, we can't go inside. Hello to Fox McCloud. Fox, I hope that your Thursday has gone well. 1 day until the weekend. Hello, Andreas. How are you? As well as anyone can be in Tassing right now. Looks like things are going well for you. Martin returned after all. Yes, the winter without him was excruciating. I lost little Wolf, and Kat was worried that she'd lose the farm after Fronstein. Did Wolf just, like, starve to death because of the winter? I really don't like it, the kids being gone. But then Martin returned, and he's provided well for us ever since. Despite the tightening restrictions, we've gotten by. I'm thankful. I'm sorry to hear about Wolf. Thank you, I try not to think about it. Nod regretfully. I don't know why when she literally says, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to talk about it, stop bringing it up. Fox McCloud, if you're just joining, we've done a 7-year jump into the future, like a time skip, and now we've come back years later. Kat wants to talk about him all the time, you know. Any night there's a clear sky, she looks up and asks if I ever wonder how he is up there. Oh, that must be excruciating. Yes, it is. I'm sorry, Andreas, I can't talk about this anymore. Was that a good idea? Asked, what's-her-face. Why did you think she'd want to talk about her dead son? I didn't think that she wanted to talk about him. I just wanted to, like, express my... Like, I wouldn't have brought it up in the void, but she mentioned Wolf, and all I did was express my, Condolences. Were you trying to hurt her? Does it feel good to you, hurting the wounded? Wow, Beatrice is really laying into our, like, mindscape here. Does she seem like she's been gifted with a kindness? No. You wouldn't want someone to talk to you about it. That's why you don't mention it. You can. We say these things even though the reminding inflicts immense pain. We say these things because it's the only way through. ... You can stay in here. You can't stay in here forever, you know. I feel like my mistake is, like, maybe this is my 20th century ears, 21st century, but it sounds more flippant than I'm sorry. You didn't know. It's all right. It's been good to see you again, but I should be going. Until later. Until then. Oh, did we talk to... I feel like I didn't talk to her. Andreas? Andreas Mahler? Hello, cat. Well, would you look at that? You are back in Tassing. And look at you, you've done so well for yourself. And who's this? Cat, please meet Caspar, my apprentice. Hello. He's got the posture of an artist, that's for sure. Good strong face, though. I do? What brings you back to Tassing, Andreas? Just passing through on the way back to Nuremberg. I saw... Let's talk about her. How have you been, Cat? You seem well. I feel well. The past few years have been challenging, but I am stronger now for the Lord's trials. Franz passed a few winters ago. Then Wolf. Brigitte and I nearly lost the farm and our minds. Was Franz the, like, family beater guy? Like, the abusive guy? Oh, wait, we can see right here. Yeah! Wasn't he?
You gotta take a firm hand. Man has to be in control of his castle.
But Martin returned shortly after, and he's proved to be a changed man. A good man. He saved us from destitution. Of course, the Abbey would have seized your land. Johann wished to buy it, to preserve it for Brigitte and I, but with the taxes being what they are... Well, we're lucky Martin returned. I do not wish the fate of Ottilia Kemperin on any woman, least of all myself. What's the fate of Ottilia Kemperin? Times may be hard in Tassing right now, but God truly does answer our prayers. I'm glad you and your family are well, Cat, despite everything. Thank you, Andreas. It truly is, oh God, to see you again, even in the midst of such terrible times. Until later, Cat. Until then...
Andreas Mahler, it's good to see you again after all these years.
And you as well. Let's let bygones be bygones. Whoever Martin was is not who he is anymore. Clearly. Everybody testifies to that.
What have you been up to? You look like you've been done well for yourself. You've done well for yourself?
Art. I lived and worked in Aragon for a few years.
Ha! People here think I'm well-traveled because I've been to Ulm. Though I suppose I have had a lot of adventures for a country boy.
What happened to you anyway?
Oh, all right. You know, I stole some of the Baron's things. I didn't make it far with them. I tried to sell them in Walgau and got robbed. Serves me right, I guess. Luckily, they didn't find the coins I was carrying. The money carried me around Bavaria for another month and a half. Then I started stealing. I grew bigger and more confident over time, became a highwayman.
You were a bandit?
Hard to believe, I know, but yes. Anyway, it didn't last long. I eventually got scared out of it. I had a partner for the last year of my adventures. We tried to rob some Italians. We thought they were merchants traveling under the banner of St. George.
This is a 2nd century Praetorian Guard and patron saint of England. He is most well known for his legendary victory against a dragon. Oh, is he really?
They were not. They were soldiers guarding the property of an Italian bank. My partner didn't survive the encounter. I was wounded and alone in the wilderness. I thought of my father, my mother, Brigida, and I realized I couldn't remember Vol's face anymore. I had to come back and take up the responsibilities I'd left behind.
I am not going to tell this man that responsibilities are overrated. It's good that you did for everyone's sake.
You may be right. Mom and Brigida couldn't run the farm after Dad died. Maybe it's for the best that he wasn't here when I got back. It's all in the past now. I just need to look forward.
That was quite a speech you gave back at the Commons.
He needs support. The townsfolk aren't as committed to opposing the abbot. They have less to gain and more to lose than the abbot chooses to get the duke. If the abbot chooses to get the duke involved. Anyway, I have to get back to work. Good talking to you, Andreas.
All right, until later. High five. I like Martin. I didn't hate Martin before. I just thought he was like just a little shit, but it's cool that he grew out of it. What is the fate of the Widow Kemperin?
Andreas.
That's it. I mean, she still has her house, right? Like, this is the same place that we hung up everything. That seems better than it could have been. I guess I can't talk to her about it. Okay. She's not even surprised to see him. Okay, we're gonna go have dinner now. We haven't gone to the Abbey to, like, catch up, but I feel like in the fiction, that's a long ways away. Oh, that was it.
Hello, Andreas. Hello, Andreas.
Ursula! Hello. Hello, Ursula. Do you remember me? No. Should I? I like the you used to poke me in the foot with a stick to wake me up. Yeah. I did? You did. I stayed in the room upstairs. I kind of remember that. I think you told me a story once. Mom and Dad sometimes talk about you. They said you went away for more training. What was that line? Or like, I bet it was supposed to be. Well, while I was in Aragon, I learned a new technique to make colors that... No, not about the art, Andreas. About your travels. All right, all right. Is she too old for stories? I hope not. In the forest of Aragon, I saw a giant. What? They call him Basharau. He's 9 feet tall. His beard is as long as Big Jorg's whole body. 1 foot is like yours or mine, but the size of a whole pig. The other is a tree trunk. He whistles to the shepherds when storms are coming, so they can get their flocks to safety. How did you see him? I was in the forest, and he spied on me because I was eating bread, which everyone knows is Basharau's favorite food. I wish I could see an Igant someday. Andreas, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you know the stories about Perkta and the Wild Hunt? Well, I know one story about the Wild Hunt. I really enjoyed it. In Germanic folklore, the Wild Hunt is a supernatural cavalcade of spirits and fiends which may cause destruction or portend war and other catastrophe if not adequately appeased. The Wild Hunt is often led by legendary figures such as Perkta or the Devil. Also, as always, if I'm mispronouncing Perkta, I'm giving it my best guess. A little. I didn't learn about them until I lived here. Why? Are they bad? Cough, cough, cough. By the way, like, I don't want to cough into the mic, even if it's like pretend coughing, so... Bad how? Well, my grandpa tells me things about Perkta and the spirits and charms. And the old woman Ottilia, she talks about them too, and says all these words I don't understand. She told me they're part of the old ways or something. So why do you think they're bad? Well, my dad says that I shouldn't listen to any of it. He said it's nonsense and that Father Thomas would be mad. He said he only tolerates it with old people because they're too stuck in their ways. I don't want to get in trouble, but Grandpa says if I don't learn the old ways, they'll just be forgotten. I'm curious, why is... It's probably because he's traveled and is very worldly from her view, but why are you asking me? I'm afraid if I ask someone else, they'll tell my dad, or worse, Father Thomas. Thomas is like the guy from the church, isn't he? Yeah. So, are they bad? Cough, cough, cough. You should learn what you can while you can. I feel like our Andreas would never tell anybody to shy away from knowledge, and preferably a breadth of different knowledge. Really? Awesome! Look at this. The occultist background told the story of the cat in the cradle and told the story of the giant Basa-Jaru. Yes, it's important for you to carry on the stories and knowledge of your ancestors. Oh, that makes sense. Cough. Thanks, Andreas. Until later. Hello, Andreas. Good to see you back in town. Hello, Veronica. How have you been? Oh, you know, pulled every which way. Mom's been a cow about when I'll give her grandchildren. Okay, I was wondering if that was going to get corrected, but no, she's been a cow about when I'll give her grandchildren. As if I'm not doing enough work already. You shouldn't rush something as important as children. That's what I keep telling her. Maybe you should talk to her, Andreas. If it comes from someone as successful as you, maybe she'll pay attention. Anyway, I should get back to work. We're all preparing for the festival. I'll leave you to it. Until then, Veronica. Until later. See you, Andreas. Hello, Ill Peter.
Cough. Oh, it's you. The artist from a few years ago.
Yeah, Andreas Moeller. I'm surprised you remember me.
Everyone seems to think my mind is going. It's so sharp as a nail. Andreas is making nails, you know. A good man.
Right.
Are you staying with my family again?
No, I'm staying at the Golden Hand.
Pah! Those misers charge us just as much as the pilgrims for a drink, but won't support my son and his cause. That new abbot must have gotten to them, the bastard. Cough, cough.
Why do you hate the abbot so much?
Everything went to shit after Father Matthias died. That man, God rest his soul, never increased taxes. He might have asked for a tithe in harder winters, but we were happy to help the abbey then. Cough. We could take from the forest as we needed. Brother Florian used to help us in our illnesses. Let us follow the ways of our forefathers. A true Christian, that old abbot.
And then?
Father Gernot promised he would keep everything between the abbey and us peasants the same. And we were foolish enough to believe he will. Cough. At first, he refused to allow Florian to come down anymore. Taxes got higher, he stopped allowing us to pay in goods and livestock. Now, he only takes coin, as though we can come by enough of that in a year to pay our rents alone. The bastard doesn't give a damn about us, not how Father Matthias did.
Father Gernot's been an ass longer than I thought. Cough, cough. Here's the thing. I don't know the terms under which the abbey exists and how much coin they have to pay the lord, the baron, whoever's in charge of everything. What I do know is that if these people physically don't have enough coin to pay it, but they can pay in goods and livestock, then that's money that the abbey doesn't have to spend to feed its own people. And then they have the more coin they can get elsewhere. Like, if they can't do books, do something else. But it just... The people in the abbey seem better off than the peasants to me at this time. They don't have leaky roofs or any of that other stuff. They got all that stuff fixed up.
You should talk to my son. You should help him stop that bastard abbot.
I should go.
Eh? All right.
Okay. I can't go up to visit my old room, so we are going to have dinner. We're about to sit down for supper. Come to care to join? It would be my pleasure. Foxbot is saying, Angel, stop coughing to the mic. I can taste your coffee. Gross. Also, Foxbot was saying, I was wondering why she was giving milk. Oh, the woman who's being a cow about the daughter, the grandchildren. It's truly a blessing to have everyone back together again, if only briefly.
Keep an eye on that boy of yours, Andreas. See that he minds how much he takes. Young boys eat too goddamn much.
Peter, stop that. Andreas is your guest. Why don't you lead us in grace?
Fine. Bless us, O Lord, in these your gifts for which we are about to receive from your bounty. We pray again for your beloved Christine, now gone this many years. Please help me protect my family in these difficult times. Difficult. Through Christ our Lord, amen. Amen, 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 amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Master Andreas, why are we the only ones with bread? Even whispered, I feel like everybody's gonna hear this. Quiet. Andreas, it's good to have you at our table again. And with another guest. Is H-Tis, young man, your assistant? Caspar, yes, he's my apprentice. Ah, that would explain why I saw him writing in that little journal. I remember you did the same thing when you lived here. So, yeah, it's an interesting way to sort of like illustrate how things have gone downhill, that everybody else has porridge, and we've got much smaller servings. Which is not me complaining, it's just like good visual storytelling. Do you still draw in your journal, Andreas? Sometimes when the mood strikes.
Wouldn't that be nice, Jorg? If only we had to work when the whim took us. And we toil all day, and that despicable abbot is starving us while he isps on our sacramental fucking wine. Hey, lay off him, Dad. He only just got here.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna have this rye bread. How have the fates been treating you these last few years? Andreas, can you not figure that out?
Cough.
The Lord is testing us with another hard season, I'm afraid.
That's one way to say it. And miserable as shit all around. Cough, cough.
Maybe you should be resting, Grandpa.
If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna do it sitting at my old goddamn table.
The whole family's been ill, Andreas. Petir, his father, and Ursula with an ague, and me. Wait, that's not a correction. With an ague? What is that? What's Ursula with an ague? I've never heard of this word. Also, Foxbone is saying, Hail Cobra! I mean, amen. The Lord needs to ease up on the difficulty level. Yeah, they need to go into Midnight Suns and turn down the difficulty some. Ague? I feel like I've never heard of this before. Clara lost a child in childbed a year ago now. So even though, like, we weren't supposed to talk about Wolf, I don't know how to not say I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you, Andreas. It was some time ago. But, well, such things linger.
It was monstrous. Monstrous.
Maybe just remain silent. Oh, what's the don't think about? Don't think about it. Just keep the conversation going. You're already thinking about it. Just leave me alone for a while. All right, just for a while. So Beatrice is super mad at us. And also, I haven't seen Socrates or Lord Grobian. What was his name? I don't think... This doesn't feel comforting to me. Remain silent. Maybe we won't, like, have everybody linger on the dead child at the dinner table.
Seems the Lord rarely looks in on tasking any longer. That's why it's time for us to take matters into our own hands.
We're eating, ... Not at the table. He's right. Please, can we not talk about this now? Yorkia was married while you were away, Andreas. This might lighten the mood a little bit. My condolences.
It's not like that, Andreas.
Veronica and I are happy. Uh-oh. Whoops. Oh, thank you. Fox McCloud has said a ague is a fever or shivering fit, also known as malaria. Fox, thank you for looking that up. I had never heard of that before. Like, I know that consumption is tuberculosis, I think. God help me if I'm saying the name of the wrong thing. So, like, I just had never heard of a ague before, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but thank you for looking that up. That's one of the things that drew me to this game was, like, the time, place, and the setting. I just don't know anything about this. And I know the people that wrote it really wanted to make it as, like, they placed a high premium on historical accuracy. That's not to say that we won't have a literal demon show up at some point, but they wanted to, like, really do right by the time and the place, so it feels like an opportunity to learn at least something, and that's an example. So thank you for looking that up. I'm happy-ish.
It's been a couple springs, but I'm still not used to being married.
Congratulations. If there were children, they'll talk about them on their own. Congratulations, Jorg. I'm happy for you.
Thanks, Andraic. It's been one blessing in a dark season.
With children soon to come, I hope. Ha 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 ha, hey, ha ha. What? I don't get it. Cough. Do you? Oh, forget it, Ursula. What have you been up to, Andreas? So I want to look at these, but I like the fact that, like, for some reason, it strikes a chord with me right now that Andreas's inner monologue is so dismal and aggressive. What should I say? My life seems so far from theirs now. Don't leave them waiting. I can't think of anything. Nothing but my miserable little problems. They'll think you're rude if you don't say something. So I don't like this because it makes Caspar feel bad. I never have any time for myself. Nuremberg is miserable. I'm painting a commission, but patrons are paying to be added, so it's taking ages to finish. Oh, woe is me. I have so much money. Foreign patrons are fussy, and I've spent a fortune trying to keep my inks wet and my canvases dry while traveling. This seems the least bad. It does say, I have a fortune to spend, and that sucks. But this is, the patrons just keep paying me more money, and I just can't say no. And this Caspar is sitting right here. How is this going to make him feel? Unwanted for sure. So we're going to go with this.
Christ, Andreas, you're living like a king compared to us.
What is it like to travel? Cough, cough. You must have seen so much. Cough, cough. Ursula, maybe you should excuse yourself and rest. You're sick. But Mom, I'm still hungry. Here, Ursula, you can have mine. It's not fair that nobody else gets any bread besides Master Andreas and me.
Stop! Ursula, give it back to him. I'm not gonna have people in this town saying we can't feed our goddamn guests. Besides, we all have work to get back to, don't we? Good. Time to get back to it, Andreas. We'll see you and your boy later.
I feel like saying, "My apologies, Peter, we don't mean to overstay our welcome," comes off as a little condescending and a lot of like, "Oh, geez, sorry." Like, what we just heard from Peter is that it's important to him that they be perceived as good hosts, and saying this implies that we're being chased out, which we are, but it calls a lot more attention to it. So, yeah, it's getting pretty late. Go to sleep. Sure. I don't 100% remember where the, whatever the word for in is. Let's go to Y. Okay, so the Golden Hand Inn is quite a distance to the sort of north and east. Is this it? No. I didn't pay a ton of attention to where I was napping last night. The sin of Saul, the sin of Saul. The first monarch of Israel, according to the Old Testament, Saul was divinely rejected from the kingship after disobeying the prophet Samuel's instructions. Master, did you hear that? It sounded like somebody crying oafd. Out. I think it's Sister Amelie. She's a mystic. She may be having one of her visions. Sister Amelie, are you all right? The Philistines. This is the hand of God. Come clean, come clean. That's like nighttime, right? Monastic order corresponding to 8 p.m. One of the little hours of the prayer. The monks and nuns retired to their dormitories shortly thereafter. Sister, is something happening at Compline? It's Compline right now. No! Oh, where'd she go? Sister Amelie? You're the artist, Andreas. Let's ask if she's all right. I'm tired. Was I talking? You were having a vision. You mentioned the sin of Saul, the Philistines, and Compline. Oh, I wish Father Thomas was here. Would you like Caspar to go get him? If he could, yes. His house is just around the corner. Caspar, run and get Father Thomas. Yes, Master Andreas. Your son? I like the idea that we would think of him like a son. I like Caspar. He seems like a good kid. He seems eager to please you. You know something? If Andreas can't confess this to somebody, to her, who can he? I feel his devotion is misplaced in me. He sees you as a father. He wants to honor you as any Christian child should. But as Paul told the Ephesians, fathers must not provoke anger in their children through ill treatment. Wait, Paul is like a dude in town? Okay. I thought it was like an apostle or something. Hello to Jägermeister. Mr. Tori's saying she's probably in the church bathroom taking a dump. She probably does have a bucket in there. I have little advice. I have little advice from mothers. And hello to both Mr. Tori and Jägermeister. Little advice for mothers and fathers that does not come from scripture. Oh, wait, Paul's the kid, the artist. My world is one of spirit, decoupled from the march of life and death. And she does indeed have a pot. She's walking over to it right now. I see and hear your world turning from this little window, but they are mercifully small glimpses. Mercifully small? This cell allows me to contemplate mysteries without the noise of the outside world polluting my thoughts. Your world is the world of normal lives and normal thoughts. It can be difficult to hear the divine, much less make sense of it. I have no will to be part of that world. I strive to have no will at all, but to subordinate myself to the will of God. When my will is God's will, God graces me, His will. He graces me with visions, confusing though they may be. So yeah, let's go into our mysticism stuff. To join your will, to be intimate with Jesus as though he were your wedded husband. We just weirded her out. That is a bold thing to say, Master Mahler. Where did you hear that? Why do you assume I heard it? I have thoughts of my own. Of course, but you have given me no indication of living a contemplative life. I am glad you have an interest in spiritual matters. But these are not the words to speak lightly, nor ideas to speak lightly of. The revelations we experience can be terrifying to us, and to those who witness us experiencing them. They are not dreams, but waking visions of the greatest divine forces. Say nothing. Except, sister, what is that hole in the ground? My grave. That seems macabre. I dug it before Father Thomas read me my funeral rites. Before I was enclosed here, I dig a little more in it each day. She's been in here for like a decade, by the way. Just in this little room. Boxplanot says that she's hiding from the IRS. Death and taxes. She's got her grave ready. Most people find it shocking, but this is my devotion, my vocation. And did I say hello to Jab? Jab, I hope that your Thursday has gone well. Once someone finds their calling, they must answer it fully. Of course, how could we do otherwise? Look, this woman, as far as I can tell, has dedicated probably a majority of her life living in this tomb, peeking out the window and being fed through that little, like, gap in the bottom. They push, like, trays of food into her. Like, I don't know that she's somebody that I want to say, have you really thought about your decisions yet? Yes, Jab. Patigan was saying that they just canceled E3 as well. We were talking about a little bit ago. I don't understand how E3 happens again, because we currently live in a period in American history where everybody's just like decided the pandemic is over. So if they're not canceling it because of that, the only other reason to cancel it is if they were asking around for the big like game companies, and every one of them was like, no, we're just going to do something online. It's faster, it's cheaper, we don't have to travel, we can pre-record everything, we can put up exactly what we want, not be embarrassed or shown up. We can schedule it whenever we want to like respond to some of our greater rivals. E3 feels like it's done to me. I don't know. I feel like it's done is my prediction. And it's not a bold prediction. Like I'm not like the amazing Kreskin out here. It's just, I just don't see how it comes back from a situation where otherwise it seems like this would be the time. A lot of networking got done there. Yeah, there were a lot of advantages for sure. It's just, I feel like the advantages are now outweighed by the costs. the financial costs of doing it. We all find ways to stray by inches or feet. We all have our own course to find through this life, but we all end up in the same place. I just had to face this reality earlier than most. Is your calling in question, Andreas? Is your life? Both, I think. I've lost my love. My love for art, love for family, love for anything. The last 7 years have been hard. It was all too much for me. Don't lose hope, Andreas. The human heart is no small thing. It can hold so much. I really would have liked her to be like, really? You look pretty well off. I've lived in this tomb. Tell me something about hardship, Andreas. X.
Andreas, thank you for sending Caspar.
She asked for you.
Are you all right, Sister Amelie?
Yes, Father. I may have had another vision. Andreas said I spoke of the sin of Saul, Philistines, and Compline. What do you think it means, Father?
Andreas, Caspar, could you excuse us? We appreciate your help, but I must tend to her now in the church.
All right. Good evening. God bless you both. Master Andreas, I'm confused. What did all that mean? I'm not sure, but the last time I heard Sister Amelie have a vision, it was just before the Baron was murdered. What? Do you think... Could Sister Amelie be receiving warnings? No, that's too simple an explanation. There are layers and layers to divine messages. No revelation with real power or prophecy could be understood plainly. The meaning must be hidden or implied. Sounds complicated. Come, Caspar, let's retire for the evening. Okay, that's the time. Do you have the time? Okay, everyone has gone to sleep, including the unexplained, like, Spanish conquistador, or whoever that was. Yep, everyone's asleep. Okay, so I feel like... Yeah, so it just saved... When we go to sleep, we could get a dream sequence. We could get something that kicks off the next big plot point. And this is, for better or worse, basically the time that I have to be able to stream today. So... I think what we're going to do instead is find somebody fun to raid. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you to Patikin for the raid. Thank you to Jägermeister, Mr. Torg, Taka Roach, Fox McCloud, Jab, again, Patikin for chatting, Maxine, Borlak stopped by much earlier. I'm sure that I've forgotten people, and I always feel bad about that. But seriously, like everybody who stopped by to hang out, to chat, even just to lurk and enjoy the story. Yeah, Maxine says it's time to sleep. Wait, did I miss something? Left a chat response a few minutes ago. Did I miss something else? Jab left a chat response a few minutes ago. Oh, was it Borlak? Hold on. Let me just scroll back. Because I would feel bad if I missed something else. Oh, from Mr. Torg. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to find somebody fun to raid. And yeah, let's head back to the main menu. And just to say a few words about the schedule, we will most likely, be doing a stream of... Midnight Suns over the weekend, and then after that would be our next episode of Pentiment. So if you are interested in keeping up with the story, we will most likely see you either Sunday or Monday based on how things are liable to go. There's subject to change, but we will try to update the schedule here on Twitch at least a little bit ahead of time, and we will call it there. thank you guys very much. So, Jab was saying that is from Mr. Torg. He is my Shadow Warrior 2 mentor. I had no idea. That's awesome. So anyway, let's go find somebody fun to raid, and we'll see you guys again a little bit later in the week for some more fun streams. Until then, thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great night.